What's up, guys? Welcome to Movie Emporium's Flashback Review, where I take a movie from my childhood or maybe your childhood, just talk about it, just, tell you about it, tell you why I like it, so on and so forth. So, the movie I wanted to talk about today is My Cousin Vinny. I'm sure you guys have seen it, but it's a movie directed by Jonathan Lynn. Stars Joe Pesci, Marisa Tomei, and Ralph Macchio, as well as Fred Gwynne. It's a story of two friends who are on a road trip. I don't know where they're going, but they go through Alabama and they go to this convenience store, and then they get arrested for what is assuming a murder. You know, they think they've stolen a can of tuna, but really they've been, what they claim is mistaken identity of a murder that happened at the convenience store that they went to. So through the story, they have to find a lawyer, and who better than Ralph Macchio's uncle than Vinny. Vinny Testaverde or something like that. Vinny is somebody. And the character is played by Joe Pesci. And he brings along his girlfriend, soon to be possibly wife, played by Marisa Tomei. And the story takes place about how, Vinny is a kind of recently past the bar lawyer, and he's not very good at what he's done. He's done like trial stuff and, battery stuff, but nothing of this nature. So escapades ensue, and the look of him trying to get them off from murder, it doesn't seem to work well. He gets himself in trouble through the lawyer who's played by Fred Gwynne, and it's just an amazing movie. This movie is pinpoint fantastic. Everybody in this movie is having fun. The very dark, disturbing subject matter. It's two kids who are being framed for a murder or possibly framed for a murder, and they have this kind of inept lawyer who his nephew is involved with the murder, but he's trying his best to get him through, and then he has to deal with his girlfriend on the side, and then they have to deal with the southern style of everything's gentlemanly. You wear professional, you look professional, suits and ties. You're dealing with a different type of lifestyle than what Vinny is used to, which is a New York lifestyle. Everything's grandiose and bambos and stuff like that. But throughout the story, it's just I think this movie is special in the fact that Joe Pesci, who's known for doing these gangster films, he's not known for a lot of comedies. He's so perfect in this movie that he knows how to play off his persona of a really hardcore, I guess, use of language. When he's trying to get his nephews off, it's funny to see him struggle, because at some point they hire the other friend hires a different lawyer who sucks as a lawyer. He like stammers and stutters and so on and so forth. And here we got Vinny, Joe Pesci's character. He's trying his best to get them off, and he fails at every attempt. He has to give fake, false names because he's never done a murder trial before, and he's just like he's leading the judge and leading the other defense on, and I mean the prosecution on, and it's just an amazing movie to watch. Ralph Macchio, who we know for Karate Kid, he's playing. He's playing more of the side character. He's the character that's infusing Joe Pesci's character to move along in the story. It's the same thing with Marisa Tomei. She's infusing, she's pushing him along to become the guy who gets these people off, which, if you've seen the movie, you know how that plays out and so on and so forth. But the movie and how it structures itself is just, it's a magical movie. It's like one of those movies you go see, and it's vulgar, and it can be offensive at times, to southern stereotypes. But what Jonathan Lynn is doing here as the director, it's a fun movie to watch. It's not always like it's more crass than anything, but I enjoy it. And it's understated how good like Fred Gwynne is in this movie. He's fantastic as the judge. He shows that southernly gentleman. There's a whole scene where he's like, you know, did you say Utes? He said, and Joe Pesci goes, what? He says, did you say Utes? He says, no, youth. And it's that kind of demeanor and that kind of play off each other that works really well. And I think this is probably the most fun Fred Gwynne looks like he's ever had as a character that's kind of stubborn and very stern in his demeanor. But I guess the real surprise about this movie, the real crazy thing about this movie is the fact that Marisa Tomei won an Oscar for this movie. It was never expected for her to win an Oscar, but she's so good in this movie as Joe Pesci's girlfriend, soon to be fiance, that she just owns this movie. She just has that New York style to her. She is very aggressive in how she acts. She wants Joe Pesci's character to love her, and he wants to be included. But Vinny's like, always backhanding her, and always just being confrontational to her. And it's that style that kind of plays off what New York stereotypes are like. But she's really good as an audio mechanic. She really helps in the end portions of this movie, and it can't be understated how good and how funny she really is. She's one of those actresses that came kind of out of nowhere. And yeah, she had other parts, but ever since My Cousin Vinny, you can kind of tell what Marisa Tomei is. She's a fantastic actress. She was really good in everything she's done, from like The Wrestler to Spider-Man: Homecoming and so on and so forth. And it really shows. It really shows that, just how deep her character can be and how funny she can be and how well she plays off Joe Pesci's character, Vinny. And it also can't be understated, Ralph Macchio just has fun in this movie. The other lawyer, who's played by Lane Smith, he's the guy that's playing the prosecution, and he is kind of fucking with Vinny throughout the whole movie, but he's more of a professional when it comes to these kind of trials, so he thinks he's going to win. And the fact that Vinny doesn't know everything about what a trial like this is supposed to do, when he asks for all the information and credentials and stuff like that of what Lane Smith's character has incorporated into the trial, he doesn't realize he can ask for this stuff, like the witnesses and so on and so forth, because it can be a one-sided case, which can screw everything over and cause problems. It's fun to see everybody against Vinny in some kind of aspect, but in the end, when Vinny, does what he does, the movie just is exciting. The movie's funny. It's very dark. Like I said, we're dealing with a murder trial here, and they make it somehow work. I don't know how they did it, but this movie's a classic comedy. It's one of those movies that will always be remembered, not only for Marisa Tomei winning an Oscar, but just how good Joe Pesci can be as a comedic actor. And has he done anything comedic since it's worked? Probably not, but this is a perfect vehicle for him. It allows him to be the vulgar self that he is in like Goodfellas and Casino, but just works off his stereotype as an actor who just has good range. So, but that's it. That's my take on My Cousin Vinny. I know a lot of you guys have seen it, so comment below. Tell me what your favorite part about the movie is. Is it when he's trying to collect the $200 and he punches the guy out, which is really funny? Is in with the whole grit situation, the mud in the tires, that kind of stuff. Just tell me what you think. But as always, if you like what you see, remember to comment, rate, subscribe, check out YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, everything under Movie Emporium. Comment below, like I said, tell me what you think. But otherwise, we'll see you guys later. Peace.